If I hadn't answered the stairwell radio that morning, I wouldn't have felt her weight in my arms. I wouldn't have heard her breath hitch against my shoulder. And I definitely wouldn't have heard the question that changed everything. Because people don't expect life-altering moments to happen between the 7th and 8th floor. With emergency lights flickering. And a meeting already running late. But that's exactly where mine began. My name is Owen Hayes. I'm 28 years old. And 6 months ago, I traded fire alarms and burning buildings for spreadsheets and deadlines. It wasn't bravery that pushed me out of firefighting. It was exhaustion. The kind that settles into your bones. The kind that doesn't leave after sleep. So I came to Denver looking for something steadier. Cold air. Clean starts. A life where the worst thing that could happen on a Tuesday was a missed deadline, not a mayday call. That's how I ended up at Cross Industries. A mid-sized tech firm tucked into a glass tower downtown. Logistics software. Project timelines. Risk assessments. Predictable. Safe. Or at least, I thought it was. That morning started normal enough. Coffee. Email backlog. A team meeting scheduled on the 20th floor, executive level. I wasn't supposed to be there. I was just there to assist. To observe. To learn how decisions got made above my pay grade. Then the power went out. Not the dramatic kind. Just enough to shut down the elevators. Groans rippled through the lobby. Phones came out. Meetings threatened to derail. I was halfway toward the stairs when I heard my name. Owen. I turned. Claire Whitmore. Senior Operations Director. My boss's boss. The kind of woman people straightened up around without realizing they were doing it. She stood near the elevator bank, one heel off the ground, clearly in pain. I twisted my ankle, she said quietly. On the stairs. I looked down. She was trying not to show it, but the swelling was already visible. Medical's on the way, she added. But the board meeting starts in 10 minutes. Of course it does. I can't miss it, she said. Not as a demand. As a fact. I hesitated. 20 floors. No elevators. A woman who weighed responsibility like armor. I used to be a firefighter, I said. She studied me. Really looked. I know, she said. That's why I called you over. The stairwell smelled like dust and concrete. Emergency lights painted everything red. I can walk, she insisted. She made it 3 steps. Then winced. I didn't think. I crouched. I'll carry you, I said. Her eyes widened. That's inappropriate, she replied instantly. So is missing a board vote, I said. Silence. Then. A nod. She wrapped one arm around my neck as carefully as if she were afraid of crossing some invisible line. The moment I lifted her, everything changed. She wasn't heavy. But the responsibility was. Every step echoed. Every floor ticked past like a countdown. You don't have to do this, she said around the 5th floor. I know, I replied. By the 10th floor, her grip tightened. By the 15th, her breath was warm against my collarbone. No one spoke. By the time we reached the 20th floor, my legs burned and my heart raced, for reasons that had nothing to do with the stairs. I set her down gently outside the conference room. She straightened her jacket. Rebuilt her composure in seconds. The Claire Whitmore everyone knew snapped back into place. Before she went inside, she paused. Looked at me. Not like an employee. Not like a subordinate. Like a man she'd just trusted with her vulnerability. After the meeting, she said quietly. "Wanna have dinner with me?" And then she walked into the room. Leaving me standing there, pulse pounding. Wondering when my safe, predictable life had started slipping away. I stood there long after the conference room doors closed. Not because I was stunned. Because I was calculating. Dinner with my boss's boss wasn't a casual invitation. It wasn't flirting over coffee. It was a live wire stretched across my career. And the worst part? I wanted to grab it with both hands. I spent the next 45 minutes pretending to review project notes while my mind replayed the stairwell in perfect detail. The way she trusted me without hesitation. The way her voice softened when no one else was listening. The weight of her arm around my neck, careful, restrained, but real. By the time the meeting ended, I'd convinced myself she'd forget. Powerful people don't remember moments like that, right? I was wrong. The doors opened. Executives spilled out. Claire followed last. She spotted me instantly. "Still here," she said, as if it mattered. "Where else would I be?" I replied. A corner of her mouth lifted. "Good," she said. "Then this won't feel rushed. We didn't leave together." That was her idea. "Optics," she said quietly as we walked in the same direction but several steps apart. "Denver's small. Offices are smaller. Smart. Calculated." We met 3 blocks away at a quiet place tucked between brick buildings and dim streetlights. No company logos. No familiar faces. She was already seated when I arrived. Out of the blazer. Hair loose. Different woman. "Thank you for coming," she said. "Thank you for trusting me earlier," I replied. Her eyes held mine a beat too long. "I don't do that easily," she said. The waiter arrived. We ordered. Small talk followed, safe, professional. Then she leaned back slightly. "Why did you really leave firefighting?" she asked. I hesitated. "Because I got tired of being brave," I said. She nodded like she understood. "I got tired of pretending I wasn't lonely at the top," she said. That landed heavier than she probably intended. We talked for hours. Not about work. About fear. About reinvention. About what happens when you outgrow the life you once fought to build. At one point, she laughed, fully this time. "I can't remember the last time I did this," she admitted. "Carried someone upstairs?" I teased. She smiled. Then her expression softened. "No," she said. "Let myself be seen." That was the moment. Not the dinner. Not the invitation. That sentence. When we stood to leave, she hesitated. "This complicates things," she said. "Yes," I agreed. "Do you regret it?" she asked. I met her gaze. "No." She nodded once. "Neither do I." As we stepped out into the cold Denver air, she brushed my arm. Not accidentally. Not carelessly. Intentionally. And I knew this wasn't a one-time dinner. It was the start of something that would demand decisions. Sacrifices. And consequences. Because some lines, once crossed, don't disappear. They just move.